Really going back to the start of the voucher program, it was kind of enabled by the chronic underfunding and underdefinition of a public education by the New Hampshire State Legislature. After the Claremont lawsuits in the 90s, the legislature was supposed to define and fund an adequate education, but it really took until the Londonderry decisions in 2006 to actually, kick the legislature into gear and come up with a definition of an adequate education and the components that were necessary for providing it. And the legislative committee that did that work said that things like school nurses were not required for an adequate education, even though, the state requires schools to have school nurses. They said that building and facilities maintenance, heat and electricity are not explicitly part of an adequate education. And I guess I'll take the opportunity to remind everyone that just a month ago, the state argued at the New Hampshire Supreme Court that heat is not necessary for an adequate education. On a day like this, I can't imagine what a classroom would be like without heat. And so what we've ended up with the state really underdefining an adequate education is they have a very nominal dollar amount currently that goes towards education. It's about 20 to 25% of a school district's funding, depending on the district that you're in. And so what happened is over time we built up a surplus in the Education Trust Fund instead of actually contributing funds to state building aid, to special education reimbursements. We just accrued money in the Education Trust Fund, and that enabled the New Hampshire legislature to say, well, we've got this extra money lying around, why don't we create a voucher program? Because this is something that we've been wanting to do. The underfunding of public schools created that space and that opportunity to have a voucher program just to begin with. And so I think touching on what Christina just said also is because we have such limited state funding and because it is the smallest proportion of funding of any state in the country provided by the state government, any dollars going out are dollars that are not going towards our public schools and the students in them that serve students of all needs. And because the voucher program is focusing on new liabilities for the state, students that it was not previously paying for their education, we are cutting into the limited funds that are available for all of the other students.